In this session, we will be discussing about gel permeation chromatography. Gel permeation chromatography is a subcategory of size exclusion chromatography. It is also called molecular sieve chromatography, and it involves separation of the molecules in solution by their size or occasionally molecular weight. Because of this reason, it is applied for large number of macromolecular complexes like proteins, industrial polymers, etc. Size exclusion chromatography includes gel permeation chromatography and gel filtration chromatography. In gel permeation chromatography, the hydrophobic column packing material is used and the mobile phase is a non-aqueous organic solvent. On the other hand, in gel filtration chromatography, the packing material is hydrophilic and the mobile phase is aqueous. In gel permeation chromatography, the stationary phase is a highly cross-linked polymer which is hydrophobic with a network of micropores. The analyte is dissolved in the solvent or mobile phase and passed through the column. If the analyte molecules are significantly larger than the pore size, it cannot permeate into the pores and thus pass through the column at the same rate as the mobile phase. As can be seen from the image, the blue colored sphere represents these analytes. The red triangular shape represent molecules of intermediate size. These permeate into the gel partially. The extent to which they permeate may depend upon both its size and shape. Analytes that are smaller than the pore size permeate into the pore very easily, and the pink colored sphere represents such analyte. As can be seen, they are trapped into the micropores. The result is that those analytes which are appreciably larger than the pore and do not permeate into the gel suffer no retention. They pass through the column at the rate of the mobile phase and come out first. Analytes of intermediate size which partially permeate into the pore have a retention time which is also intermediate between the two extremes. The value depends upon both size and shape. Analytes which are smaller, significantly smaller than the pore, permeate into the pore easily. They spend more time trapped in the pore and come out last. A flow diagram of the simplest of GPEC system is shown here. The mobile phase serves to dissolve the sample and carry it through the column in GPC. The solvent selected is such that it does not induce any interaction between the sample and the stationary phase, so that separation is solely on the basis of the molecular size. The solvents most frequently used is tetrahydrofuran. Other solvents like toluene, dimethylacetamide, dimethylformamide, chloroform, etc. are also used. The solvent from a reservoir is filtered free of particulate matter and passed through a degasser to remove dissolved gases. This is because presence of dissolved gas may lead to the formation of bubbles in the column, which may lead to variation in the flow rate and thus band spreading. It can also interfere with the performance of the detector. This solvent is then pumped with a pump at an optimum pressure needed to ensure a constant, reproducible and accurate flow rate to the column. The column is packed with gel and the required amount of the sample, generally a small value of 20 to 200 microliter, is injected into the flow path through a fixed volume injector. This is done in such a way that the continuous mobile phase flow is not disturbed. The sample analyte is separated on the basis of molecular size, and the separated components pass through a detector and the signal is recorded. The column may be as small as 30 cm or as long as 300 cm with an internal diameter varying from 4.5 to 25 mm. The material may be either heavy walled glass tubing, which is used for low pressure applications, or stainless steel tubing used for high pressure application. The column is packed with small polymer particles of dimensions generally less than 10 micrometer, containing a network of uniform pores. The solvent and small solute molecule diffuse through the column. The cross-linked polymer may generally be either polyacrylamide gel, polystyrene gel, dextran gel, or agarose gel. The purpose of the oven is to act as a thermostat to maintain optimum temperature. The separated components that emerge from the column pass through a detector. The detector may be one that functions upon measurement of sample properties such as optical absorbance, light scattering, conductance, refractive index, conductivity, viscosity, etc. The signals from the detector are analyzed and recorded by data processing system, and the separated components are collected either in a fraction collector or are led into a waste reservoir. Gel permeation chromatography is a method for the separation, purification, and analysis of mixture of substances, particularly suited for the analysis and characterization of different type of polymers. As the property of a polymer, like its tensile strength, brittleness, hardness, etc., are influenced by molecular weight distribution, GPC is used for characterizing the synthetic polymer through determination of its molecular weight distribution. It is also used in quality control and failure investigation by establishing molecular weight physical property relationship of synthetic polymers. It is also used in characterization of natural polymers like rubber, plant and animal polysaccharides, etc. GPC is also used in clinical, biochemical and pharmaceutical research. It is a simple, convenient, rapid, reproducible and reliable assay method for determining the proteins of human pancreatic juice, bile and tissue. It's also used to separate biomolecules based on their size. For example, various species of proteins, polysaccharides and nucleic acids are separated by using this method. It is also used for separation of salts and amino acids from protein and for the analysis of complex biological samples. Pharmaceutical companies use gel permeation chromatography to analyze their drug products for purity and stability. It is also used in toxicological studies to determine environmental contaminants like chloric or chlorinated biphenyls in animal tissue and traces of toxic substances such as benzopyrene in food samples. With this, we come to the end of this session. Thank you.